It's Positively Muskegon. Andy O'Reilly here at the Folker Community Hub today, and I've got Guy DeBoer with me, who I had a chance to meet on Ski Town Stereo a couple of weeks ago, and we talked a little bit about Guy's Ultimate Kayak Service on the radio show there. Guy is a local guy here in town who decided he saw a hole and he's going to fill it with a kayak service. And how long have you been at it, Guy?
Well, I started in July of 2014.
Okay.
And got a website set up and just started sitting out my trailer with my boats and advertising different places, and started getting calls, and it only put about 80 people on that summer.
Really?
But then, so last year was my first full year.
And last year you went 80 years your first year.
Right.
80 people your first year. The next year, how did it grow?
I put 500 people on the river.
500 people on the river.
Yes.
Wow.
And
that's more than double.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I can double that this year because I just bought a 15-passenger van, so now I can transport a lot more people. I can put 20 people on at a time. And
get them down the river.
Yep.
What was the thought process? I mean, was it just that hole that you saw that needed to be filled, or was it, a passion of yours that you wanted to share with others?
I enjoy floating on the river. I have these river cats that I do. They're inflatable pontoon boats type things. So I was using those for fishing and just floating down the river. So I wanted to enjoy that. So I wanted other people to enjoy it too, and see nature, and Muskegon is such a lovely place.
It's important too. I mean, so much gets stressed about Muskegon and the party atmosphere, the motorcycle rallies, the concerts, all that.
Which are all great.
They're great, but there's a lot of natural beauty here that people don't often stop and think about.
Exactly. Everybody talks about the lake and Lake Michigan and everything, but the river's here too, and it's awesome. It's
with you've had to have a story or two to tell of some of the people that have been on these floats.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you brought tourists in even from out of the country.
Yeah, they're coming from Germany. I had a group there in Grand Rapids. They were doing some construction work on a temporary visa actually, and they wanted to do a float. So they saw my website, came over to me, just showed up at my house. Never even called. Said, we want to do a kayak float. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So I put them on the river. They got all done, and they're like, can we get a beer somewhere? And I said, okay. So I took them over to Sports Page, and they had a beer. And the people at Sports Page spoke German, so they're talking to them in German.
Did they really?
And they had a great time. Everybody was happy, and they said, yeah, we'll probably do this again if we ever come back to this country. So
what an awesome story. I mean, you give them a great time, you show them a little natural beauty, and then somebody that speaks German. Perfect.
It was amazing.
Your floats now. Talk about your floats a little bit. Are they designed for anybody? What's the youngest age?
Well, I've had kids as young as 2 and 3 years old that the parents have strapped in and put on, but it's more about size and strength than it is age. So it's as long as you're big enough body and you can paddle a little bit, you can steer. But I have doubles that you can ride on. So
is the river shallow enough?
The upper float, it's only a few feet deep, and the lower float's it's not that deep either. So it's not a problem.
Yeah, it was one of those things. You never knew exactly how deep the water was. When in the past I'd go canoeing or tubing or anything like that.
Yeah, but it's all sand and
it's all sand. It's all real nice and things like that.
Very relaxing.
Tell the iPhone story.
I had a group from Detroit come over, all from Czechoslovakia. And they went down the float, and they got down to the end, and for some reason he had his phone out, and he got out and he dropped his phone in the water. It was an iPhone 6 with a waterproof case, so they're out there, they had goggles, they're diving for it. When I showed up to pick my boats up, I'm like, what's going on? Well, we lost our phone. And it's a $600 phone. You pay half? I says, you guys signed a waiver. I'm not paying for anything.
Nice try.
But, I worked it out with them, and they ended up getting their way. They never did find the phone, so there's one out there at the bottom of the river.
Hey, you need an iPhone. Go dredging. Talk about cost. What's it cost people to?
Only on the lower float, I just charge $20 a person for a single float, and the doubles are only $30, and upper float's $25, a little bit more to cover my cost of transportation. And it's very reasonable.
It's a great value.
Yeah.
Great way for a family to get out and have some fun, and a great way to introduce people to Muskegon. We've got all the information here on the website, Guy's Ultimate Kayak Service. You'll also find his Facebook page. If you really want to get out and have a good time and support a local guy who decided to take that chance and fill a hole and see how it's paying off for him. And I can't imagine you did this to get rich.
No.
I mean, a little extra income is great.
Exactly.
But, that's not the point. The point is, if you think you can't find something to do in Muskegon, guess again. He's living proof that it doesn't take a whole lot to get something started. Go out there and enjoy it. Guy's Ultimate Kayak Service, right down the Muskegon River, and you pick them up right in Veterans Park. I pick them up there or by Reese Buffer High School, where Creston dead ends into the river there. I'll pick you up there, transport you upstream, put you on a kayak, and you float back down to your car. First class experience all the way. Guy, thanks for taking a couple minutes to come in. Best of luck this summer. We hope everybody gets out and enjoys a good float. Thank you. Guy DeBoer from Positively Muskegon, Guy's Ultimate Kayak Service.